and welcome to the Wayward Skein podcast. My name is Lynn. I'm Toll Baby pretty much everywhere on the internet. I would like to thank you all for coming back and joining me again this week. For those of you who've never been here, welcome. I'm nuts, so strap in and be prepared. It's been a bit of a, I keep saying it's been a crazy week, but it really has. Like, the last several weeks have been a little bit nuts. Things have calmed down a little bit at work, simply because nobody was there on Friday. My boss is on holidays, so I was on my own this week, with a different boss, big boss. And he and I had never worked directly together before, and it was interesting. He has his own assistant, and it was difficult to sort of gauge where my job ended and hers began and vice versa. So it got a little dicey at times, but it was okay. Friday, I was pretty much abandoned by everybody. No admin assistants in the place. No directors. The big boss left at lunch. I was on my own. I ran the whole place by myself. Well, no, that's not at all true. There were a lot of people helping out, but there wasn't a lot going on because it was really quiet. So I've spent some time with some friends this week. Didn't get a whole heck of a lot of time to myself. I was a little bummed on Thursday because I was super looking forward to class at the temple, and then I got there and there was nobody there. Well, there were people there, but they weren't my class. So I looked it on my email, and sure enough, the class was canceled, and I just hadn't checked. So yeah, it's been a little nuts. Ow, that's very hot, but it's so good. I picked this up yesterday. It's Stash Tea Maple Apple Cider. Come on, you can focus better than that. Go on, you silly thing. It's not gonna. Anyway, it's rooibos tea with hibiscus, cinnamon, natural maple flavor, natural apple flavor, natural caramel flavor. I would love to know where they got the natural caramel flavor. And citric acid, probably as a preservative. So it's delicious. Drinking this is like taking a bite of apple pie. It's that good. It's wow. It was on half price, so I picked it up. I'm a sucker for cheap tea. I also bought another box of the Yogi Citrus Slim Green Tea, whatever. I just like the taste of it. I've talked to you guys about it before, I think, but this one, absolutely delicious. It smells fabulous. I get the feeling I'm very much going to enjoy this one. And I may go back for more since it's on sale. So yeah, it's very hot right now, so I'm having trouble drinking it. And this is, sorry, I've got it backwards. This is my Bijou Basin mug, which I love. I still haven't taken the other one out of the bag. Mainly because I get the feeling that if I take it out, my daughter is going to start using it. So I'm actually just going to get rid of the tea bag here. Whee! That way into my little saucer. So get rid of that. I've gotten a little bit of knitting done, not a ton. I have not made any progress on the color perfection at all. I've done 2 rows. I haven't watched a lot of TV this week. That really, you're going to start right off the bat? Meow to you too. Are you wanting to come over? Here. Nope, didn't think so. Alright, so she can go whistle Dixie or whatever it is. So in my lovely little needle keeper by Mandy Pinecone Crafts. Sorry, I keep leaning this way for some reason, even though the camera's, well, pretty much right there. So inside my little needle keeper and my lovely whoopie paw bag. I still can't remember who made that. I'm so sorry. It is my favorite bag, though. I mean, I take it everywhere. It's got a nice thick interfacing in it. So I did make some progress on the sock. I met my goal on this. I managed to get past the gusset decreases, which you will see right here. You can see them right along here. And they ended sort of at the end of this gray stripe, so I've made a little bit of progress past that. I'm pretty happy. That's what I was hoping for. So I am on track to finish them by next Monday. I've only got that much more to go. Sorry, I'll pull the finished one out. So I am on this green stripe here, and I start the toe decreases on this gray stripe here. So I only have 1, 2, 3 stripes left before I have to get to the toe decreases, so I'm pretty happy about that. I will have them finished the next time I talk to you guys. This is the finished one. These are the Vanilla Latte socks by Virginia Rose Jeans. I'm so smart. I have show notes right here on the screen in front of me. So these are knit out of Juliana's Fiber Lucid Dream sock in the Raver colorway. Sadly, Juliana no longer dyes. She is local to me. She was an Ottawa dyer, and I have an embarrassing amount of her yarn in my stash. And I am currently trying to, well, not work through it, because I do want to save some, because I miss her and I miss her yarn. I miss her more than I miss her yarn, but you know what I mean. So I'm going to try and turn this on the blocker. Probably should have planned that a little bit better so that you can see what the pattern looks like. So as you can see, it's just a super wide rib. That's the top of the sock. And I just wanted to show you guys that because it really is a pretty pattern, and it's super simple, and if you're a beginning sock knitter, you will have no problem with this. I did my own heel. I honestly don't even know what heel flap the pattern called for, because I looked at it to get the pattern and I didn't look at it again because I'm a bad podcaster. Because I like doing my heel flap and gusset like this, and I also like my rounded toe that I do. So I honestly didn't look at the pattern again. I'm a bad person. But I love, love, love this pattern. I would absolutely make another pair of these. So I've been very much enjoying them. And as you saw, I am using my carbons, DPNs, and these are 2.5 millimeter, which is US 1.5. Now, my color affection doesn't live in anything because it doesn't move off my desk. It lives here. The ball of yarn is in my yarn bowl. It's going to stay there until I'm done. So, poor little color affection. Whoops, backwards. Let's not dip it in my tea. Only got a couple of rows of love this week. So this is even the wrong side. This is the right side. It only got a couple of rows done in that big solid colored stripe at the bottom. I've got it upside down because that's the easiest way to hold it when the needles are poking out of the bottom. This is how it goes. It's got a solid color section, it's got a 2 stripe section, and then it's got a 3 stripe section at the bottom that comes in as short rows. So I have knit that out. Sorry, it's the Color Affection by Vera Valimaki. I have the pattern here to show you. Sorry, things are sliding on my desk. So that's the Color Affection by Vera Valimaki. It's a gorgeous shawl pattern. Super intuitive. I'm going to open the, because I actually have the extra yarn balls in a little container off to the side. So this is entirely done in Night Owl Fibers basic sock. The 2 first colors were Rusty Hook and Pumpkin Spice Latte. And the brown section at the bottom is done in Leather Boots, which is my favorite. I love it. I actually have to wind off a little ball of the teal, the Rusty Hook, for my friend Sylvie. She has ordered the pattern for my wedding dress. And because she is going to be making my wedding dress because she's insane and I love her. Yes, she has offered to make my wedding dress, and I want it to match this particular shade of teal. So I have to wind off a little ball of this for her so that we can go fabric shopping and buy yarn that matches that. I also need to buy another skein of that from Rachel because I had this brilliant idea that I'm going to make Rob a pair of socks for the wedding out of that yarn. Those will be his special wedding socks. Sylvie and I also had this brilliant plan. We went out to dinner on Friday, so we were talking about wedding stuff, and we had this brilliant plan. Well, I had this brilliant plan, and she agreed that we are going to make Rob's tie, rather than make him decide between a bow tie and it depends on whether he's going to wear a tux or a suit, and that's entirely up to him. I think he'd look overdressed. Well, I think I'll look underdressed if he wears a tux. But, sorry, my chair is very squeaky. But it's entirely up to him, and I'm not going to make him decide right this second. So I proposed this idea to Sylvie, and she was super thrilled with it, that we will make him a tie out of my dress fabric. Because this wedding, to me, is all about handmade and showing each other the little things that we do for each other to show that we care about each other. So I want to make him a tie and some socks. I can't make his suit because I don't even know how to thread my sewing machine at this point. But I am going to be assisting Sylvie in making the dress. And I want to order a little bit of extra fabric so that I can make him both a bow tie and a regular tie. I don't know what those are called as opposed to bow ties. Do they have a name? I don't know. I'm a girl. I don't know these things. I've never worn one. So that's my plan. We'll see how it goes. We're going to go off very soon in search of some inexpensive cotton fabric to do a mock dress to start with. And my friend Crystal has actually offered me her crinoline from her wedding dress. I don't know if it's going to fit because Crystal is considerably smaller than I am, but we'll see. We'll play it by ear. And worst comes to worst, we'll make a crinoline. Taffeta isn't that expensive. So I'm starting to get a little bit excited about this. The plan when I visit Rob at Easter, first of all, I will be podcasting from there, I guarantee you. But also, we're going to see if we can visit the venue where we're having our reception. I think it's a little bit pretentious to call it a venue, but that's apparently what it's called in wedding parlance. We're looking at renting a community center. So it's not going to be fancy. I'm not going to decorate. It's just going to be a place for us to have a good time. So we're hoping to visit that while I'm there for Easter and Passover, to look at pricing, etc., etc. We're going to try and figure out a few logistics. Visit the hotel that is closest to where we're getting married so that we can try and book a block of rooms, that sort of thing. It's starting to feel a little bit real, which is weird because we're still 18 months out. And it's just a little weird. Anyway, to finish off with what I was talking about, God, can I go on a tangent? The Color Affection is knit on size 4.5 millimeter needles, which is a US 7. These, I believe, are boy needles or Susan Bates, one or the other. It's needles they sell at Michael's, whatever those are. And they're fairly new because my other set was in another project and I couldn't find them. And yeah, so these are fairly new. I bought them for this project. I still have to go out and get the needles for the chuppah. I haven't done it yet. I need some size 13s. I have just about every other size of needles. I just don't have any 13s. So I need a pair of DPNs, and then I need to start getting circulars in larger and larger sizes. I'm only going to get one set of needles at a time to sort of not have to spend a whole lot of money right away. I'll probably be buying them at festivals and stuff like that. The first pair I'm probably going to just go to the store and buy. But I don't want to spend a huge amount on these, so I'm probably only ever going to use them once. Granted, I'm using them for something special, but I will probably never use them again. So we'll see what happens with that. And I plan on pulling that out on April 1st, whether or not I'm done the Color Affection. I need to start moving on it because I don't want to have any surprises. I want to be finished in well enough time to plan out the framing for the chuppah and be able to figure that out. Ideally before Rob moves. So we'll see what happens. We're not sure exactly when he's going to move. It's planned for the fall. But we're not sure exactly when during the fall. It's going to depend on A, when he can get a job up here. B, how the house selling process goes. We'll see. So we're playing it by ear right now. I've got an apartment. I'm okay here until whenever I'm told we're moving. So, well, apparently the horde just got home upstairs. So it's not that big a deal. We'll figure it out. Apple pie in a cup. Sweet. So good, I'm slurping it. So that's my knitting. I haven't done anything else. I've thought about casting something else on, but quite frankly, I've had so little time to do anything this week. I haven't watched a single episode of Scrubs. That should tell you something. I did start watching something else on Friday, but we'll get to that. So I have actually gotten a bit of reading done. I am still reading The Pilot's Wife by Anne Shreve. It is getting to the point where she is discovering, it's about a woman named Catherine whose husband is an airline pilot, and he dies in a plane crash. That's like the first 2 pages of the book. I'm not giving anything away. And on the back of the book, it says, she realizes that her husband wasn't telling her the truth about everything, and there might be things about him that she doesn't know. Excuse me. So she's just starting to discover his duplicity and just how much she didn't know about her husband. I'm about halfway through, a little more than halfway through. Not quite 2/3, but more than halfway anyway. As you can see, my classy little bookmark of a Breathe Right strip there. So I'm very much enjoying it. It is very difficult to read, though, because I've always had a little bit of a complex where Rob and I are concerned that we got together fairly late. I'm 43. He's 55. I kind of feel like we're wasting time not getting married right away. And I understand why we're not. I mean, it makes absolute sense to wait. But I'm impatient. I'm like, okay, we need to get moving with this because we're running out of time together here. Which is stupid because he's 55. He could live another 30, 40 years. Well, I hope he does. In 40 years, I'd be 83. I'd be, I could live longer than that. It's a ridiculous thing, and I know it's a ridiculous thing. I will be happy with whatever time we are given, but I would like to get started and not feel like I'm waiting for our life together to start. It's frustrating, and I know it's a me thing, and it's my problem, and I will have to deal with it, but there we are. That's why I'm having difficulty getting through this. And I have to keep putting it down because there has been, I have gotten emotional reading this, and it's hard and it's painful because I keep sitting there thinking to myself, I've been in this situation, not where I lost my partner and then found out he'd been lying to me, but I did have a relationship where after investing years into it, I found out that I had been deceived and completely, the situation was not at all what I thought it was. And that's a very difficult thing to live with. You feel stupid. Because even though the person has been deliberately deceiving you, you feel really foolish. And that's humiliating. It's painful. You wonder if you can ever really trust yourself again. Your own perceptions. It's very, very difficult. So that's another thing that I've had a lot of difficulty with this book is that I have been in that situation, not quite to the extent that poor Catherine is in this book, but I have been there. And I felt foolish and I felt stupid and I felt like I couldn't possibly trust myself to understand relationships with people again. So, it's not an easy read. It's not a breeze through it and enjoy it sort of fluff book. This is a hard read. It's easy to understand, but it's an emotionally hard read. But I do have incentive to finish it very soon because yesterday I got my hands, and I'm so excited, on this. I have been trying to get a copy of this since it came out. And every time I would go to the bookstore, it would be sold out. I am ecstatic that I got my hands on it yesterday. Yay! Michelle Obama is one of my sheroes. I admire her so much. I've been looking forward to reading this ever since she announced that it was being published. So I am absolutely in love. I'm super happy, and I cannot wait to get started on it, but I'm not going to get started on it until I'm finished with The Pilot's Wife. So this is definitely my next read. I spent all day hugging it yesterday. I'm very, very happy. Rob and I had tried to pick it up at Christmas time, and there was no getting your hands on a copy at Christmas time. As soon as that, like, the bookstores were telling me that they were only getting 20, 25 copies at a time. And as soon as they would open the box, they were gone. So I could have bought it in French months ago. I didn't want to read it in French. I want to read it in Michelle Obama's own words, which were written in English. So that was, I don't mind reading books in French, but I prefer to read them in their original languages. If possible. Obviously, I don't read many languages, but I can read French and English just fine. And I wanted this one in English, so I'm super happy. I got it! Yay! And it will be my next read. So, sorry, I will, and I apologize. I realize that my podcast is not fully accessible, and I apologize for that. I wish that there was an easy way for me to do captioning. At the current time, to have captioned videos, I would have to write the captions myself. Apparently, when you have a slightly more pro account with YouTube, when you pay for your account, there is a way to get Google, I don't know what it's, like Google Text or something like that, to provide the captioning. I'm not there yet. I don't make any money at this podcast. I actually spend money on this podcast. So I don't have the money to put into being able to caption easily. I know that my descriptions are not often vivid enough for somebody who is visually impaired. So, sorry, I picked up Becoming by Michelle Obama, which I should have stated up front, and in hardcover, which makes it a part of my permanent collection. I'm very happy. I have a few of her husband's books, and I'm very excited to start reading hers. He has a very distinctive writing style that I very much enjoy, and so being able to also read some of her words is going to be pretty fabulous. Plus, I've got a few friends who are reading it right now, and they all love it. So I'm looking forward to that. I swear, this smells so good. I'm smelling it sitting on my desk, and I'm like, need more, need more. I get the feeling that's going to become a favorite. I'm not usually so big on the sweet teas, but I don't think this has, I didn't see sugar on the, where did it go? There it is. There's no sugar on the ingredients list. However, it says natural caramel flavor, so who knows? Caramel is sugar. So we'll see. I'm very excited to start reading that. So moving on to what's on screen. I didn't watch any Scrubs this week, and I'm a little scrubbed out for right now. I needed a palate cleanser. I watched The Incredibles 2 on Thursday night? Over Thursday and Friday, I think. Something that I was super excited to see came out on Thursday. I didn't watch it on Thursday. I didn't watch it on Friday. And I've been rationing myself over the weekend. So I watched The Incredibles 2. I think it was over Friday and Saturday night, because I think Thursday night I ended up going to bed pretty early. Monday, I honestly don't remember what I did. I'm pretty sure I went to bed fairly early. Tuesday, worked, went to bed. Wednesday, worked, went to bed. Thursday, I think I went to bed fairly early. Friday, I went out to dinner with my friend Sylvie, so I didn't watch anything on Friday night. I watched a little bit of The Incredibles. Um, maybe I watched it. I don't remember. But anyway, at some point on Saturday, I watched The Incredibles 2. It was super fun. I enjoyed it. I loved it. I love most of the voice actors in it. Obviously, Samuel L. Jackson, absolute favorite. Love him. I really enjoyed the movie. I'm a big... Is it... It's Helen Hunt that's... No, it's not Helen Hunt. Who the heck played... Is it Julianne Moore? Great. Now I don't even know who Elastigirl is. I'm such a big fan. I don't know her name. Whoever it is. It's not Helen Hunt. I know it's not Helen Hunt. It's Holly Hunter. That's what... Yes, because it's all H's. Holly Hunter, who plays Elastigirl. I get so confused with the same letter of the alphabet. And I was thinking Julianne Moore because she was redhead. But anyway, so it was Holly Hunter who played Helen, who was Elastigirl. And also the character's name was Helen, so that was also confusing. So I love her. I love Craig T. Nelson, who plays Bob, Mr. Incredible. I really, really enjoyed the movie. So after that, I allowed myself an episode of Queer Eye. I have to ration it because there is always crying involved with Queer Eye. Always. I love those 5 boys so much. I can't express how much I love that show. It is just so perfect and pure and joyful and good. I just kind of want to wrap all 5 of them up in a big blanket and hug them, and they're fantastic. So I watched the first 2 episodes on Saturday amidst cleaning around the house and going to work and so on and so forth. And I allowed myself 1 episode on Sunday morning. So I've only seen the first 3 episodes. I am rationing them. I probably won't watch one tonight because after I'm done with all this, I'm going to be pretty tired and go to bed. I walked into the house about an hour and a half ago, kicked off my shoes, headed towards my bedroom, took off my shirt, and went, yeah, I can go to bed. Oh, wait, it's Monday. So you guys came this close to not having a podcast episode tonight because I almost forgot and went to bed. I was actually going to go lie down and read to make some progress on The Pilot's Wife so that I could move on to Michelle Obama. So that's what I've watched on television. On YouTube, I watched a video that filled me so thoroughly with delight. It was fabulous. I don't know if any of you watch Carpool Karaoke, the TV series. I believe it plays on Apple Play, but this week's episode was Michael Sheen and Matthew Rhys. And the 2 of them together were just so awesome. I enjoyed it so much. If you get a chance to watch it, you really, really need to check it out because it will just put a smile on your face. It's so perfect. And I never really knew Michael Sheen as an actor until, and I'm very slightly ashamed to admit this, the Twilight films. They're a little bit of a guilty pleasure for me. Just because the story is so bad. The writing was fine. The acting was okay. The story is bad. The main relationship is abusive. And, it's hard to explain. I love you so I can't be with you, so I'm going to hurt you so that I don't hurt you. And it's just stupid. And I just kind of want to slap all 3 of them. And just before anybody asks, I am firmly Team Charlie. So. Which is hilarious because I hate the little porn stash, but I am firmly Team Charlie. Absolutely. So, that's that. That's one of my guilty pleasures. And that's where I was introduced to Michael Sheen, who is a fabulous actor and has been in many, many, many wonderful things other than Twilight. But that's where I saw him first. So, poor Michael Sheen, forever known as for Twilight. He actually is a fabulous actor. He's very, very good. I cannot wait to watch Good Omens. Can't wait, because he's in it with David Tennant. Two of my favorite guys. I'm a happy girl these days. I'm looking forward to watching Captain Marvel as well. And I'm super looking forward to the last Avengers movie coming out, because now that I've finally seen whatever the Ultron one was. Not Ultron. What's his face? I've forgotten his name. I'm such a bad podcaster. The purple guy with the Infinity War. That's what it was called. Wow. Still don't remember his name, but yeah, it was called Infinity War. And so now that I've finally seen that, I cannot wait to see the last one. And I'm very excited about it. It's coming out end of this year, I think. November, maybe? I've seen a couple of trailers. I'm super stoked for that. Really want to see Captain Marvel just because I think movies by and starring and employing people of color, movies starring and crewed and whatever by women, these need to be encouraged. Movies that have people with I don't even know how to say this. I mean, I am a person who has certain disabilities, but I don't know what the polite term for that is. The respectful term, not the polite term. I don't believe in the term PC. I believe in being respectful to communities, especially marginalized communities. As a person who does have certain disabilities, I'm a little embarrassed that I don't know what the respectful term for that is. But I believe that should be encouraged in films. LGBT community should be encouraged in films. The trans community should be encouraged in film. These are things that we have so many actors from every culture. We have actors from every gender identity. We have actors with, and again, I'm struggling for the respectful term. We have deaf actors. We have actors who are in wheelchairs. We have actors who are on crutches. All these people should be able to represent themselves on film and not be represented by abled or white or, non-LGBT, non-trans actors. These are people who should be allowed to represent themselves on film. And that's something that I try to encourage. So that's one of the reasons I want to see Captain Marvel, because quite frankly, I know nothing about Captain Marvel. Not one of the comic books I read growing up. But I really, really, really want to see it. So anyway, moving right along, since I went on a little diatribe there and stepped up on my soapbox. Podcast-wise this week has been fairly quiet, but there's been some big stuff. Sarah of Steeped in Books, who is True Connect Girl on Ravelry, and she also has the Canadian Knitter podcast. She put out 2 videos this week on her Steeped in Books channel. One of them was her April 2019 anticipated reads, which you should check out. She's got a lot of really cool stuff coming, and her weekly reading vlog. So the podcast that I was super thrilled to see this week. I told you guys last week that Kate of Hawthorne Cottage Craft podcast put a new episode out. Well, this week, Selma of Little Big Knits also put an episode out from Uruguay. So she put out episode 25, Places You Can Knit, Uruguay. So that was exciting, and I'm very much looking forward to watching it right after this, because I meant to watch it earlier in the week and then completely forgot it was out. And remembered today when I was looking through the podcasts that had gone by this week. So I'm going to be watching that right after this. No, I won't be watching an episode of Queer Eye tonight. It's too late. The Knitting Expat put out episode 134, all the swatches, and a co-host. So her daughter Layla actually spent the podcast with her and helped show yarn and stuff like. She's so cute, and she's such a sweetheart. You should watch it just for Layla alone. I mean, Mina's awesome too, but watch it for Layla. Must Love Yarn put out a very, very short non-episode. Kelly recorded on her own from home before heading off to the Edinburgh Yarn Festival, which I believe is this weekend or sometime this week. So she did discuss the pick of the week. You might want to go check that out. But it was just a little 6-7 minute thing. And the Knit Girls released today, actually a few hours ago, episode 431, entitled Wizard Sleeves, and they have a special guest this week who is Amy Florence of Stranded Dye Works. So definitely go and check that out. It was a really cool chat. I enjoyed watching the three of them interact together, and Amy looks like a very fun person to be around. So that's what's going on in podcast news. That's about it for this week. My knitting goals for next week are to finish this bloody sock. I will finish, and now I'm all tangled in my color affection. So I will finish the sock. I only have 3 more stripes before the toe. I've already started the green stripe, so green, gray, yellow, and then I start the toe. So I can totally get that done in 1 week. As I said, things have calmed down a little bit at work. My boss doesn't come back until next Monday, so I'm very much looking forward to her coming back. But right now she's enjoying herself in Texas, so I won't see her until then. My goal for the color affection, I don't know if I'm going to make my March 31st goal of finishing that thing now, but I'm going to keep plugging away. I'm not going to make a specific goal because I find it tedious to work on at this point. I need to finish it. I want to finish it. It's going to get done when it gets done. I'm not going to stress over that one. And my goal for next week is to obtain the needles for my lace chuppah, which I will tell you guys all about the pattern next week. I did my taxes yesterday like a big girl. I'm actually getting a fairly decent refund, so I'm pretty happy about that. It means I can buy a new mattress. Funny story is that I purchased my mattress in February of 2009. It had a 10-year warranty on it. In February of 2019, I popped 2 strings. They were not kidding about that warranty. So I desperately need a new mattress, and I'm very much looking forward to my income tax refund coming in so that I can go out and buy one. So the cat never came back. Sorry, guys. You didn't get to see her this week. She's sitting over there looking at me, but you didn't get to see her. Or is that George? I think that's George. I'm not sure where Fluffy went, but sorry, no cat this week. So I will say goodbye, and I hope that you are all having a better week, and spring is in the air. Things are melting. They're slippery, but they're melting. And there is a little bit of hope that spring will actually arrive and we will not be stuck in perpetual winter for the rest of our lives. Although the minus 17 this morning was a bit of a shock, considering it was plus 5 yesterday. It was warm by the time I left the office, but yeah, the minus 17 this morning was a bit of a shock. Thank goodness I bought myself a new winter coat yesterday. I got it at a very, very deep discount. It was awesome. Because otherwise I could not have afforded a winter coat. Anyway, now I'm just babbling about things, so I will bid you all adieu. Bye. And please be kind to one another. Have a great week. I forgot all about telling you this. I would like all of you, every last one of you, to keep somebody special in your thoughts and prayers. You've all heard me talk about Brandy Miller of Brandy Miller Designs. She's Eat My Yarns on Ravelry. Her daughter Letty, her daughter Violet, underwent heart surgery today. She was born with CHD, congenital heart defect. I don't remember exactly which one, but there are a number of them, and she had to have surgery today. Letty is 6 years old. It's a major, major surgery. And Brandy and her family are in a different city. They're in a strange place. Letty's going to have to spend a few days in the hospital. It was a big deal. She came through it pretty good. The doctors were very happy with what they found and how she reacted and how she did during the surgery and all. So it was good news, but I would like you guys to all keep Brandy and her family, especially Letty, in your hearts and think about them a little bit. So we love you, Brandy. Bye, everybody.